This sheet has the 4 photos that you could definitely make this into putting on your tier tray or sitting about perhaps your desk at work or in your office. And I loved all 4 of these prints, so I put this collage together. I'm going to select this one with the kitty cat and the autumn pumpkins. And Dollar Tree has these neat little square sized frame canvas. And this is the stretch canvas. It does have a wood frame and it has this wood easel. And so something that you really, really like and favor, this is just right. And this is just a little 4x4 square. It is really a great size. I painted my canvas black and I'm going to let that dry. But while it is, I still have my dirty brush. And I'm going to use the Waverly Antique and Wax for the easel. And it'll have this little bit of black dirtiness in it. And these are really, really neat. And the wood, of course, is soft. And it shouldn't take much applying of this antique and wax. And with that dirty brush, I know that I'll get a nice blend of part paint and part wax. And whatever the wood doesn't soak up, you just wipe it off and kind of do an easy buffing. But wax generally preserves the wood, and it'll give it a really nice look with these 2. Easel is done, rubbed down and buffed. The canvas is ready, and now I can take a little bit of Mod Podge, and I'm actually going to place it onto the back of my photograph. Very thin coat of Mod Podge on here, and only on the paper back. There we go. And I'm going to put my photograph on one side of the canvas. I'm not going to put it all the way over or center. I'm going to offset it. So I'm just going to go around the edges here because the Mod Podge is on the back and I don't want to put a glossy finish on this just yet. And I have a dirty brush that I put that Mod Podge into, and as you can see, that antique and wax that's going across there. So we're going to let that dry for a few minutes. Use a very small brush and this multi-surface toasted marshmallow and put autumn down the side of my sign here. And that will probably be about all that it can handle, and then I can just put a small coat of Mod Podge over the verbiage, and as you can see, it looks pretty good with just that little bit of darkening. So the trick here is to make sure that the letters are evenly spaced apart. There's just a little thing you can do is just add a bit of a frame. And that just helps give it some light. Now I can do a little more with the lettering. And maybe even put some dots or some dashes. Another thing is anytime you do some kind of piece, put your name and date on it so that you can look back at it later and know that you made that and when you made that. And it's nice to add the year and so forth. So yep, I did that a long time ago. And once I've finished it, I will put a coat of Mod Podge on it to preserve it and let it seal. These other three little photographs, I have some of the wood slats, and I had cut these down, and these are the actual other half of it, so they're not exactly the same size, but making your signs to sit about and just look nice, these are just the right amount. Is I'll paint these with this mineral finish by Waverly chalk. It has more of a sand color to it. I'm going to do a water tear using a Q-tip, and I've done both sides with the mineral to get them set, and they will be risen because of the chalk paint, so you'll need to sand them down a bit, and I generally do that to all of them. So I'm going to do this water tear on this crow because I really want it a little bit closer to enjoy that print. Do a back and forth or a round circle motion, and just to kind of get that wet, but it'll be a really nice kind of gentle tear. Gonna go down the side of these, and now I can go ahead and gently tear away the crow. It's just a little bit of paper there, which is just fine. That looks really neat. That's going to look really good. Trust me, you will love that look on the board. See how pretty that looks? It just has that gorgeous, ripped, torn look. These just look gorgeous. They look gorgeous. I love that tattered look. That's going to look so neat. So neat. Love it. Love it, love it. That I've got these pictures into place, and they're Mod Podge. I always heat mine with a pressing iron, and that way if there's any wrinkles or bubbles or rolls, they will smooth right out. Additionally, this picture will now be fused permanently to that wood. They become as one. It heats up that Mod Podge and melts it, and then that way it is permanently there. And it's just so simple to do this. When you heat it up with your press or a regular iron, don't use any steam if you're using a regular clothing iron. Just dry, hot heat, and you'll put it on your high setting, and that is looking really professional, just like you bought it like that. So to finish up these little tabletop signs for your tier tray or sitting about in your office and different things, I've left them as they are. I got a consensus on this from a younger individual, my daughter, who said, no, leave them just like they are. One thing I did change is I added a star and wrote the word crow, and I sanded that just lightly after I did it with a magic marker, just to tone it down because it was too bright. So there you go. 3 little desktop signs to go on your tier tray or sit about, and they look great just as they are. On the back, I simply put my larger stamp of my business and saying handmade, so that way I have callback information. There again, if you're looking for something small, you can check these out on the website at dandelionssoap.com/shop and purchase one if you don't want to make one of your own. Remember, you have these free printables, and you can find them at dandelionssoap.com/blog. If you forget any of the links, they're always in the description box underneath the video.